It's called the grip. GRIP, as in they've got a firm grip on you. I was first introduced to the term. This is a long one. For those people that want to complain that I don't get to the point, move along. I was first introduced to the term by a guy that I used to work with. There were two of them, actually. They were in the maintenance department, and they were woke back before the term means what it means now. The term woke means something completely different than it did. Basically, it was like red pill, blue pilled, or black pilled. If you were woke, you were aware of what was really going on. Your eyes were wide open. You're not asleep. And you could see things for what they were. Kind of like the Rowdy Roddy Piper They Live scenario with the glasses, right? And we're talking early 90s. It's kind of like trolling, right? When people say, don't feed the troll. Trolling in internet parlance used to actually mean trolling, as in fishing trolling. You throw your line in there and you troll along on the top of the lake and you wait for a fish to bite. That's called trolling. Trolls throw their line in the internet, usually in a forum, and they leave a comment, and they're trolling for a bite, somebody to argue, somebody to get mad. And then along the way, it literally took on the name, the semblance of a troll. Instead of trolling the verb, you got trolling the noun. Woke kind of changed along the way, and it does that as you go from Gen X to Gen Z to millennials to whatever's next. The words take on new meanings, and it's a subculture within a culture. So these two guys were woke. And I mean, they knew of everything. And everything rhymes with now. They knew the UN was going to take over. They knew Agenda 21 was coming, because this was a while ago, but it was being written about. They knew about the meeting at the Big Wood now out in California. They knew about the underground base at Dulce. You name it, man. They knew it. They knew about Bill Gates. They knew about GMOs. They knew about chemtrails. They knew about Homeland Security and Native Americans being the original Homeland Security. They knew it all. And one of the concepts that they introduced me to was the grip. And the grip is something that everybody out there is about to understand personally. You didn't mostly before, but you will now. The grip, as explained to me by these two guys, was a circumstance I found myself in. It's basically the top 5%, maybe 10% of the economic earners in the nation. Or if you were in a really prime position, job-wise, vocationally, that you didn't want to give up. And allow me to explain further, and you'll see what I mean. If you were in the grip, as I was, it meant you made just enough money to keep you being uncomfortable. Now, you might say that's everybody, but no, allow me to expand on that. You made just enough money to keep you from being uncomfortable, but just a little uncomfortable. And it was enough that you couldn't get it matched anywhere else. That is a nice Bonneville. You can see it. So, meaning, gee, I really want to leave this job. I don't get along with these people, but I really don't want to move, or I'd have to take a 15% pay cut. I've grown accustomed to a lifestyle. I'm a little too comfortable. They're putting me into a position where I've got to put up with it because I can't get this gig anywhere else. And when he explained it, that was the grip. They got you. There's a reason why you're going to put up with that idiot down the hall. There's a reason why you're going to put up with these occasional crappy hours. It's the grip. You're unwilling to let go of that. Now, you don't have to be in the top 5% of earners to be in the grip. Maybe you've got that one job in your little small town that lets you work from home, or maybe you've got the one where they have daycare and you're putting up with it because you're in the grip. Not everybody's in the grip, because a lot of people, clearly as evidenced by the pandemic in the last year, have said, screw it, I'm not going to work, or screw it, I'm not going back to work. But if you're in that small minority that's in the grip, well, you feel the pain and you understand. Now, at about this point, you're going to say, well, that's not me. I'm just an average Joe six-pack who takes my lunch to work, clocks in, clocks out, gives them a stone cold Steve Austin 316, hell yeah, at the end of the day, and goes about my day. I can leave this job and find another job, no problem. You're all about to enter the grip. Let me explain. So, we've talked about the hokey pokey and a lot of employers mandating it. I've even heard stories of employers saying, oh, we're not mandating it. But if you want to keep your health care benefits, the health care place is making us mandate it. And if not, you'll lose your health care. So there's that. And certain people are, faking it till they make it, using fraudulent documents. Shout out to Grey Note before he comes in and says it's a felony for the X millionth time. They're going to do whatever, or just lie, or not answer. Do what they can. I'm going to tell you why this is all just theater of the absurd. Today, Joe Biden clearly gave directional words on what he's planning on doing. He says not only is it, allowable, it's his duty, basically, I'm paraphrasing, to make it mandatory once it's approved. So whatever you're doing to dodge, and whatever you're doing to think that I'm going to get around this, and whatever you're doing right now to say, I'll leave and get another job, I'm not in the grip. On the other side of this, once this vaccine is mandated, and take this to the bank, put this in your pleasure journal. As I've said before, you can rate an awful lot of commentary and prepper channels if you just simply go back and look at what they predicted in the past, right? There are an awful lot of people that are wrong. They're either trying to scare you to death about something that's not going to ever come, or they're trying to give you the same old videos with should be in your bug out bag, top 5 guns, etc. If you would start holding them accountable and unsubscribing by going back and looking at the last, 50 videos they've done and seeing how many wild predictions they've made haven't come true, you'd probably get a lot of your time back. And instead of staring at the screen getting fatter and listening to people like me, you'd actually improve your life. Anyway, as I was saying, what's going to happen when we get to the end of this? And what they're going to do is they're going to approve that vaccine. They're going to make it the law. They're going to take it out of the employer's hands. They're going to take the choice out of you, out of your hands. And then once that happens, everybody's going to be in the grip. Because at that point, you can't just leave for another job that doesn't require the vax, right? You can't just leave for another doctor. You can't just leave for X, Y, or Z. Because the grip has you. Either you want to be in the system or you don't want to be in the system. And I don't see that there's any way out of the system except through really intricate forgeries. And a little bit beyond that. So unless you have friends in high places, you're going to have to make a decision. And it's funny that we all thought that it was going to be, people coming to your door to take your guns. This is where it's going to be. Now, with that said, we all love to bash the French. And the French are good at surrendering. But you know what else they're really good at? In large numbers? Protesting. Before COVID really got into full swing, look at the Yellow Vest protests. Look that up. Look at the farmer protests, how they dump their grain on the Champs-Élysées. in the past 20 years when they don't get the prices they want. The French actually hold the government accountable. It's the birthplace to let them eat cake, right? When people went to the streets and held their people accountable, I think Marie Antoinette found that out pretty quick. Guillotine is a French word, after all. So you can't be at Versailles eating high and mighty, eating your cake while the audience in attendance claps, and expect the peasants not to hold you accountable when they're starving in the streets. So you can either do that, or you're going to give in to the grip, because the grip is coming. You people who aren't in the top 5% of earners or don't have that primo job and think that you're not in the grip and that it's a funny concept, you're all about to be in the grip. Every single one of you is about to be in the grip. And I'd put that probably late September, October. If that happens, once it's approved, there's going to be a waiting period. Maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And they're going to look and see, okay, now that it's approved, are all those people that were on the fence saying that it was experimental and they're going to wait, go get the jab. And they're going to watch, and still it's not going to be that high. And you're going to get, ironically enough, down to about the number of Trump voters that will remain unvaxxed. I'm not saying they're all Trump voters. I'm saying it's going to be about that percentage. So 25 to 30-ish are going to remain unvaxxed ardently. And at that point, they're going to mandate it. Again, write it in your pleasure journal, take it to the bank, bring your tomato plants in, put A1 sauce on your balls, whatever it is you got to do. Shave your neighbors, get that backside intel off Transponder 9 from them Fandango Rangers. Whatever Godlike Productions tells you to do, this is a true SHTF, bring the tomato plants in, 5 siren, red alert. The grip. You're all about to be in it. Remember, you're not wrong. You're just outvoted.